So going forward in your early days, were any bonds formed with anybody? Did you become instant friends with anybody or instant enemies?
Ric Flair, of course.
He gravitated
scouted
towards you?
me down in Florida. We had a couple matches, and he really brought me in.
Right.
Convinced the Crockett's and Dusty Rhodes and the people at Mid-Atlantic to bring me into the TBS thing, and I had no idea. I didn't know, getting back to my ignorance is bliss, so to speak. Everybody's going, man, you're gonna be one of the Four Horsemen? I go, I guess. I didn't know who the Four Horsemen were. I knew Ric Flair was part of the Four Horsemen, but if you told me to point out in a lineup, J.J. Dillon or Arn or Tully or Ole, I couldn't have done it.
Did they know that?
You could have put a gun to my head and I wouldn't know who they were.
Did they know that?
I didn't inform them of that. I never told them that. But I never, I didn't look at the wrestling magazines. We wrestled 7 nights a week in Florida. I never was like in the store buying wrestling magazines or anything. So I had no idea who they were. And of course, Nate was the biggest star maker ever. Sting and I still talk about. We don't know if we ever would have gotten the map. Rick has that amazing gift of not only being one of the biggest stars of all time, but to be able to make stars.
Would he be
and bring out the best in somebody in the ring? I call him the doctor of psychology wrestling. He used to watch the matches. Rick, why do you watch the match? He goes, I want to see what the crowd's buying. So he'd integrate into the match in a certain city and he'd watch the earlier match, see what they were buying into.
Right.
As far as the style of match that night, and then make adjustments and tweak his match. What an incredible performer.
Would he be your all-time favorite opponent if you had to pick one?
Oh, definitely. If not one of the. I wrestled with probably almost every great wrestler of our time, but Rick's right up there in the top, no doubt. He is a man who personified and was everything and more outside of the ring than even he was in. As big as he was in the ring, I'll never forget the first time I met Rick. He walked into the building in Daytona Beach Ocean Thunder. I was there again, and I had an hour Broadway with him. I was so nervous. He pulled up in the limo. He walked in with that Brioni custom-made suit and the tie and the diamond rings and the diamond-encrusted presidential solid gold Rolex and the tie and the overcoat and man, I couldn't believe it. I was wrestling that night, and just from the moment I met him, just lights up a room. The charisma that man has is absolutely amazing, and he lived it, man. When I got to travel with him, I told Rick I thought I almost didn't sleep for 3 years.
Wow.
High energy guy. He'd pay the band $1,000 like a song to keep on playing when they're supposed to by law close down. Rick would bribe the band. Then he'd talk them into coming back to the hotel and to keep the party going. Then we'd have to go straight to the airplane and make the next town. So I'd go on weekends with Rick and not sleep literally the whole weekend and wrestle and go to the gym. The guy's unbelievable.
Good Lord.
And then he'd tell me, hey, by the way, when you get home tonight, make sure you kick in the door like he called it Rudolph Valentino. I had to Google that recently. I go, Rick used to tell me to kick in the door like Rudolph Valentino and sweep your wife off her feet. And he goes, so they don't think you were out partying all weekend. I go, really? Yeah. I go, any trouble I get into, sometimes I like to credit Rick for getting me that started down the wrong path. Oh, he was my mentor and my hero. So I go, Rick, so kick the door and sweep her off her feet like Rudolph Valentino. You don't want to get suspicious what we're doing out there on the road. And so just an amazing guy, fun guy. Obviously what he meant to the business and as I told you, star maker.